Hello and welcome to the lecture series on railways, harbour, tunneling and airport for the subject code 18CV645, Module 5, Session 1, Runway Design, Orientation and Windrows Diagram. So in this session we are going to introduce a complete syllabus of the Module 5. Then we will take up the runway design, orientation and windrows diagram, and lastly the references. Moving on to the subject and module 5. So in this module 5 we are going to be discussing about the airport design. So in the airport design, first we are going to be talk about the runway design, its orientation. To orient that one, we need to analyze the wind with respect to windrows diagram. Then we are going to be having the runway length and calculate the basic and actual runway length. The numerical problems are there. Geometrical design of a runway, configuration of a runway system and pavement design principles. Apart from that, we are going to be having the other component of airport, that is a taxiway, elements of taxiway and design, airport zone, passenger facilities and runway and taxiway marking and lighting, that is with respect to visual aids has been concerned. So in this module we can expect the numerical problems and also the theory. So we'll begin with runway design, that is in a module 5. So already we had talked about the runway in module 4 with respect to the component of an airport has been concerned. So as we know that according to the statement of ICAO, the runway can be defined as a rectangular area on a land of an aerodrome which is prepared for the landing and takeoff of an aircraft. So that is how the ICAO defines the word runway. The orientation of a runway is going to be important, as we know that it is going to be considered in airport planning as well as design. So the correct runway orientation is always maximizes the airport capacity because as it is going to give the possible runway can be used throughout the year, hence we can have the wind conditions are going to be taken for the analysis. So FAA and ICAO regulations establish that whenever we are going to be have a runway orientation, so it should have some expected coverage of the runway location. So it means we should have a minimum coverage of a wind over the runway. So FAA mandates that identification standards for layout of an airport, that is meant to assist the pilot in easily recognizing the runway. So it gives some identification mark on the standard to recognize the orientation of the runway. So always the runways are oriented in the direction of the prevailing wind. So as we know that in the previous sessions also I had explained, runway is always going to be oriented in the prevailing wind direction. So why it has to be done? Because as we know that the headwind, so that is the wind direction which is opposite, will going to be having the direction of a landing and takeoff, will going to give you greater lift for the wings for ease of a takeoff. Similarly, during the landing, this headwind will going to provide the braking effect. So that's what whenever we are going to be orient the runway so that the landing is going to require in a shorter length of runway. That's what for ease of landing and takeoff, now always the runway is going to be oriented in the prevailing direction of a wind. Similarly, while we have said that for ease of a navigation, all measurements and directions are measured with the numbers of a compass. A compass is going to be always a 360-degree circle. So then we are going to be having a 0 or 360, so which is always going to be measured in north. Say for example, if it is going to be a north, so always we are going to be having a 0 degree or 360 degree. Similarly, if I am going to say it is going to be the east, then it is a 90 degree. Then if it is going to be a south direction, okay, so then if it is going to be the south direction, it is going to be 180 degree. Similarly, if it is going to be the west direction, then it is going to be 270 degree. So that is how the compass measurements has been done. So always the navigations are going to be measured with respect to north of an compass, hence all the degrees are measured with respect to north of an compass. So this is how runway is going to be oriented. Say for example, try to see that here the nomenclature. So R, then we are going to be having a 09. So it means that, so it is a right of the runway, that is a right runway which is going to be having the number of 90 degree. It means it is being oriented in a multiples of 10 degrees. So as I explained in the previous session, so 9 represents multiple of 10, hence it is a right of a runway having a compass orientation of a 90 degree. So this is the same thing when we are going to be measuring with respect to the north here. Suppose if it is going to be 220 degree, it is being represented by 22. So that is how the runway is going to be nomenclated. So as we know that runway is going to be oriented with respect to the wind, so we need to analyze the wind with respect to its characteristics. So what are those characteristics? Anyway, whenever we are going to talk about the wind data, so wind data is always going to be having a 3 component. One is the direction, next is the duration, and the next is going to be the intensity of a wind, which is going to be blowing over an area with respect to all the direction has been concerned. So if we represent direction, duration and intensity on a graphical paper, so as it represents the petals of a rose, hence this diagram if going to be plotting over a graph of all the wind data is known as windrows. So this windrows analysis are going to be used to get the maximum wind which is blowing over the direction to orient the runway and the intensity. So hence this windrows is going to be used for the orient of the runway center line has been concerned. So the wind data should be usually collected for a period of 5 years. Preferably it should be 10 years to obtain the average data for sufficient accuracy has been concerned. So as far as possible, this observation should be taken near to the site, since the wind conditions may going to be vary considerably with location, especially in case of hilly region. So that is the criteria how we are to get the wind data. So as I said, windrows diagram. So windrows diagram is nothing but it is a graphical representation of a wind data. So as it represents the petals of a wind, hence it is called as a windrows. So in the windrows we are going to be having a 2 type. One is called as a type 1 of a windrows. So this will going to give the idea about the direction and duration of a wind. Suppose if you want intensity, we are going to be having a type 2 of a windrows diagram. So in this windrows diagram we can analyze the direction, the duration and intensity of a wind also. So depending upon the accuracy we needed and the wind characteristics we needed, so we can opt for type 1 and a type 2. So always for the planning purpose has been concerned, so always type 1 we are going to be using. So for precise orientation of a runway, type 2 is going to be used for the exact location of the center line of runway. So this is the diagram which shows the windrows diagram of a type 1. So this is going to give you the best direction of a wind which is been blowing and the duration of a wind it is been blowing. So this is a graphical representation of how the windrows is going to be there. So just to see that, as these lines are going to be just like the petals of a rose, hence it is called as a windrows. So whenever we are going to be having a larger length of the portion or the orientation, so that is going to be treated as the center of runway with respect to windrows diagram has been concerned. So then how we are going to work out the, if we are going to give the wind data for the analysis. So the procedure how we are going to do is going to be when we have to plot a graph. So try to take a graph sheet. Okay, so on the graph sheet try to have some radial lines which is going to be having an angle of 22.5 degree. say for example if it is going to be a graph sheet, so on this graph sheet what we have to do, so draw a line, so it is exactly at the center, so that is going to be north south, and similarly this line is going to be east and west direction. So apart from that one, try to hold the line and which is going to be making a 22.5 degree radial line, just draw a line. So likewise continue, and when we are going to be reaching up to 360 degree on a graph sheet, it means, so try to bisect the line of north south east west with respect to 22.5 degree. Say for example in a north and east zoning or the quadrant, say for example this is a north and east, so we are going to be having, see this is a 22.5 degree, this is 22.5 degree, similarly this is also 22.5 and 22.5, that is in a every sector where quadrant we have been bisecting into 22.5. Then we are going to be nomenclating each of the sector like this. Say for example the first sector, if you are going to bisect from the north, which is having a 22.5 degree, so as it is been in the northeast zone, say it is in the northeast quadrant, so it is going to be near to the north direction, hence this direction is going to be north northeast. Similarly exactly at the center line it is going to be a northeast, obviously there is no problem. Similarly if it is going to be a northeast direction, okay, so when it is going to be a northeast, it is going to be nearer to east, so then we can write it as east northeast or northeast east, any of the thing. So likewise we are going to be marking all the 16 sectors and complete the line of radial thing. So after that one, select a suitable scale and accommodate all the directional data. Say for example for each of the direction, suppose the wind direction or a wind durations has been given the tabular form, so try to select the least and highest value so that it is going to be accommodated in a graph. So it may be 1:1 or 1:2 or 1:10 according to the given numerical. So mark each of the wind direction value on the graph sheet to the scale chosen. So for example if you are going to be having the scale here, say just I am giving the example, so in the later I will take up the numerical problem, then we can understand the better thing. So this is going to be marked as 1 and 2, so it means according to the scale, if east is going to be say 1, then we need to mark like this. Similarly if it is going to be northeast, this point like this, then after that one we need to join by the straight line. So all the 16 points after marking on each of the radial lines according to the direction and the duration whatever we are given, so after that one the lines are going to be joined by the straight line. So this straight line is going to complete the windrows. So after that one, measure the maximum length. So what I have been emphasizing, measure the maximum length from the graph sheet which represent actual direction of a runway. Say for example hold the scale here and from this point to this point, say for example north to south, what is going to be the length according to our graph. So likewise for every of the radial line we have to measure which one is going to be giving the maximum length, that is going to be considered as the direction of runway. After that one, add all the adjacent value to the maximum length direction to know the coverage of a wind. Say for example if it is going to be a north to south direction is going to be the maximum, so adjacent sectors of a line is going to be north northwest and northeast on the north direction. Similarly south southwest, then south southeast direction component is going to be added, because as we know that so runway is going to be center line. So after that one what we are going to be having, on the width of the runway the wind has to be blown, so it is not exactly at the center point what we have been taking. Say just I am showing here, if it is going to be the center line of a runway, say north and south direction, so north and south direction, adjacent directions are going to be north northwest and northeast. So likewise our runway is going to be oriented. Hence, so this portion south southwest and south southeast, and these two direction winds are going to be added to get the total coverage of the wind. So after that one, so in any of the case, the comparate means whatever the wind, it is going to be less than 6.4 kilometers per hour. After deducting from the total, that is 100 minus of total duration of a wind, so that component is once again added to the total value to get the total coverage value. Suppose in some of the cases, according to ICAO recommendation, suppose if it is going to be a smaller airport, it may be of a 90 to 95% coverage, or if it is going to be international one, minimum 98% coverage is to be considered for the runway orientation has been concerned. Suppose if any of the case it is not satisfied by the single runway, secondary runway has to be done, where if we are going to be having the second highest length, and repeat the procedure. Next is going to be the type 2 of Windrose diagram. So just observe the difference between the diagram of type 1 and type 2. So here only the direction and durations has been measured, whereas in case of a type 2, intensity is going to be measured. So the difference of a construction is going to be similar with respect to directions has been concerned, that is making a sectors. So after that one, each of the radial lines are going to be so drawn. So these lines are going to be give you the exact intensity of a wind. Say for example, in this case, if it is going to be a 25 kilometers per hour according to the scale what you have been chosen. So try to draw a circle. It is going to be having a radius of a scale of a 25 kilometers per hour. Similarly 40 kilometers per hour and 60 kilometers per hour. So we are going to be ending with the first circle of a 25, second is going to be 40, and third circle is going to be 60 kilometers per hour of a wind coverage. So after that one, each of the sectors are going to be filled with its numerical. So say for example, in this case, when we are going to talk about the wind intensity is 40 and 60 kilometers per hour, it is having a 0.2%. It is going to be covered in north direction. Similarly, if the wind direction, in the same north direction, from 25 to 40 kilometers, it is going to be having a 2.7% of a coverage. Similarly, from 0 to 25 kilometers per hour, it is 7.4% of coverage. So like this, all the 16 sectors has been marked on the graph sheet. So after that one, I place a transparent paper strip on the windrows, so that the wind that is a transparent sheet. Just an example, this is going to be a transparent sheet. So after that one, this transparent sheet is marked the center line exactly, that is with the north and south direction. So after that one, this distance and this distance is going to be having a equidistance according to the scale what we are being chosen to draw the circles and to plot the graph. So after that one, try to place the center line of this transparent sheet. Just I will explain. So on the transparent sheet, if you place this center line exactly passing over the north and south, then calculate how many number of sectors from the graph sheets are going to be completely covered with respect to this transparent sheet with respect to this direction. Count the number of squares completely it is been covered, then make according to the scale, convert it, and we are going to be getting the total percentage or the intensity of a wind it is been blowing over each of the sector. So this is how the procedure is going to be done as in case of Windrose diagram 2. So the same procedure we need to sum up to get the total percentage in each of the direction. So in which direction it is going to give the maximum. So always that is going to give the best orientation. So then add, if possible, fractional area according to the scale to the nearest places to get back the total value. So to know the better thing for the type 1, so the statement and the numerical problem will be like this. Determine the best orientation and percentage of a time during which the runway can be used. So, in this numerical problem we had given the wind direction and a total percentage of a time, that is only direction and duration has been given. So, it means it is going to be type 1 of the Windrose. Okay. So, in this type what we are going to be given, so each of the 16 directions, so if it is in the north direction, so in the north direction it is going to be 6.6, similarly north northeast is going to be 10.3. so likewise this tabular column has been given for all the 16 directional values. So to begin with type 1 problem, so what we need to do, first we need to sum up all these 16 direction values. Okay. So always, as we know that total coverage is going to be the 100 minus this sum of all the directional values has to be taken. So whatever the value it is going to be obtained, so the remaining value is going to be called as a comp period, or the wind it is going to be less, it is not considered with respect to percentages. So that numerical value has to be kept when we are going to be given such type of problems. See, as I explained in the type 1, here how we are going to plot this type 1 of a Windrose diagram. So for this given numerical, so highest value is going to be 14.3 here. Okay. Then the least value is going to be how much? Just look at this numerical, the least value is going to be 0.3. So whatever the scale we are going to be selected, we can accommodate completely these two numerical value. It means all the numerical values can be comfortably plotted. So in such a case, what we are going to be selecting, select a scale of 1:2, then plot all the directional given values. So how we are going to do it? So as I explained, so on the graph sheet just mark the north and south direction exactly at the center of our graph sheet. Similarly at the middle section, so exactly at the center try to mark east and south direction. So that is this line and this north south line, draw a line and make a quadrant. So after that one, what we have to make, so each of the sector has to be made a 22.5 degree, then mark accordingly. Say for example, as it is going to be in a north east sector or a quadrant, so as it is going to be near to east, then we can nomenclate as east northeast. Similarly at 45 degree, that is a northeast, north northeast, then similarly north northwest, northwest. So like this, so try to completely mark all the 16 sectors on the graph sheet. So after that one, so as we had taken for this numerical problem, the scale is going to be 1:2. So 1:2 according to whatever the numerical value we have been given. Say for example, so every 1 square is going to be equal to 2 unit of our numerical value. So based on that one, say for example, in the north direction it is going to be 6.3, it means so it is going to be approximately 3.3. So just look at, this is the north direction, so approximately at a 3.3, just mark a point over the direction. Similarly in the north northeast, according to the scale chosen, so try to mark all the 16 point on the graph sheet. So after that one, try to join all these point with a straight line. Okay. So then afterwards we are going to be getting the resemblance of the Windrose like this. For this given problem, so we are going to be having the shape of Windrose of type 1 is going to be like this. So after that one, as we know that the best direction is going to be always the greater the dimension, it is going to be covered in the graph sheet. So in this case it is going to be, I think okay, so I think north northeast direction and south southwest direction is going to be the maximum thing. So what we are to get the total coverage of a wind, we need to add the component of a wind north northeast and south southwest, because as we know the maximum direction by this graph is going to be north northeast and south southwest. The adjacent sides are going to be what? North direction, then a northeast direction, north northeast means north direction, northeast direction, south and southwest directions to be added to get back the total coverage of a wind. So for this numerical value, add the compute to get the total coverage of the wind. So this is how the windrows type 1 and type 2 are going to be used to align the best runway center line. With this note, we're going to conclude this session. So just have a quick glance over the sessions what we have been covered. So we talked about the runway, what is the purpose of runway, how we are going to orient it. To orient the best runway, we had used the windrows diagram type 1 and type 2. Based on that, we are going to be orient the runway. So to prepare the sessions, we are referred the same standard textbook as given in the syllabus. Apart from that one, the web reference also. Thank you.